Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another episode of our Salem by Night Chronicle. I am the Ravenous Archon. My name is Will, and I'll be your storyteller this evening. Last, we left off with our Anarch group. We picked up where we left off with them in the alley, looking over the notes that they stole from whoever was spying on them. We got to see the Bible they found was labeled Roanoke, but they also noticed that the vestments had a cleaning tag for the St. Vincent de Paul Catholic Church. They saw that there were some men in blue jumpsuits that had littered the scene, that had taken the cars away in some tow trucks. And we got to see them head over to the church itself, where we got to see Erickson hop over the fence in very uncharacteristic manner. Andreas was more used to it, and we got to see him kind of use his obfuscate abilities to become invisible and kind of scope out the scene. He saw that there was construction-like situation going on inside the church. There was a small apartment out to the back next to the playground, and they saw that there was an old man kind of sitting there reading a book and just going to sleep. They did not kill him, so there was some mercy given this night. But they did kind of make their way inside. They saw that the place was quarantined with police tape, no entry allowed signs, and hazardous. They went up to a false door that needed to have them push two separate cherubs on either side of it to unlock it, where they saw what looked like a rectory of some kind and what looked to have been a basement access point that had been cemented over. Without going any further, they packed up, called it a night, and we saw them head out, and the next night we got to see them at the Elysium, where we saw that the Xiaolong group had donated some artifacts from the Shang Dynasty to the museum for display. We got to see that the gardens themselves were in honor of the Xiaolong group, kind of designated and designed with Chinese animals in mind, not just regular ones, but also mythical creatures. You got to see that the Primogen and all of the prince and his Primogen were all gathered there. By the time they got there, they did not see Otis King, but they did notice that Melvin was off to the side by himself. Erickson also noticed that Elizabeth Barrister was in attendance. They got to see the introductions of Neville Markinson, who named himself a childer of Annabelle Lincoln, an Nosferatu who he recently lost to the Beckoning. And we got to see the introduction of Abigail Banner, who introduced herself as childer of Dimitri Castus von Geyer, a Semitzi from the Old World, who also was lost to the Beckoning. And that's when they brought out the K-Teeth that they had captured, and they saw that Tremere Primogen followed very closely by the Gangrel Primogen, kind of inspecting them, making sure that there wasn't any foul play abound. They got to see Samantha Crushing vouch for one of the K-Teeth in hopes of kind of keeping them around because of their connection to Elizabeth Guernsey and the fact that he had La Sombra blood in him. And that's when the prince declared that he actually had a La Sombra that he was promoting to Primogen to represent all the clans that didn't have a main Primogen on the council. And this man was introduced as Konstantin Ivanovich, a man from the old world. And that's when they witnessed the prince give his decree for all of the unwanted and unasked for K-Teeth, to show that he still has power in the city and just how much of it he does have. But he ordered the destruction of every single one of the 5 K-Teeths that they brought forward. After that, they kind of saw the writing on the wall. Some people left because of the display. Some people hung around to partake of the blood dolls that were offered to them. we got to see Erickson play a little bit of a detective and went around asking different people about the situation and about different things in the city. From the sheriff, he learned, or from his sire rather, he learned about how Manny Garza was close to finding out who the plague doctor was, and then was asked to send a message to Otis King about wanting to meet up with him in some way, shape, or form. And it was told that Otis doesn't leave Salemtowne at all. So if they wanted to see him, they were going to have to travel up to the Red Eye Lounge. After his chat with her, he moved on to talk to the sheriff. Um, asked him to compare this to how Geraldine handled the situation back then, um, and then had Tulip kind of come over with a file folder as he wanted to make himself useful, and was shown a file with pictures of August, the caitiff that was part of the Free Souls. Um, he excused himself and pulled Tulip aside for a chat, almost letting it loose that this caitiff's name was actually August, uh, but managed to protect his slip up with his ability to lie because he was a senator at one point. But they met back up outside the car, and he handed off the bad news to Andreas, who immediately went into exile mode and trying to get August out of the city as fast as possible. And we left off with them driving off after the Elysium around 2 in the morning. So I think if there's nothing pressing for the rest of the evening, gentlemen, we can pick up the next night.
Mm-hmm. It's fine with me. My character probably
Sure.
just driving around smoking the rest of the night.
Okay.
I do want to point out, and I understand this is a common mistake for people. Former state senator,
I apologize.
correct. I wish I had more power, but I don't.
Yeah.
But I did not. So,
Heavy is the head that wears the crown, though. So
yep,
gotta be careful what you wish for,
But lighter is the tinfoil hat.
right?
crazy.
So, would you
But
have
yeah,
told
so
Shepard about your desire to be in Salemtown the next evening?
I leave that up to you, sir.
That's for what? Seeing Otis, right?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, either way, I want to go see Otis. Whether or not we want the Free Souls to be a part of this, knowing already that the Free Souls are being looked at.
Well, the free souls are being looked at, but we just got to keep August out of sight right now. So,
Yeah. The only problem with this, and this is just this is our conversation, I guess,
Mhm.
while in the middle of the night as we're leaving out. Um, the only situation I can see unraveling from this is that if the tower knows, um, what makes us think that this fanatical group of people trying to go after uh our kind would eventually find out about him?
oh, it's not a question of them finding out. But luckily, with the Ivory Tower, they're more used to dealing with my clan specifically. The Second Inquisition or whatever, hunters in general have we're a little hard to pin down in the first place. So if we can keep him moving, basically put him under the same regimen I am, even though he doesn't have that weakness.
Okay.
Because I mean, if we have him, we could have him Haven with us. If he proved to be a problem, no, never mind. But we could Haven him with us if we needed to, and if not, just keep him on the down low right now. Let him know that it's actually there's heat that's really going to end in his death second time. So if I can talk him, if I need to talk him into it, I need to talk him into it. But at the very least, if he goes out in the open, if he's with the other free souls, they can buy him time to get the fuck out of there. That's
All
what we
right.
do.
So where do we want to are we taking your mobile haven then?
No, the mobile haven just gets moved to the next spot for the night. We may want to keep August with it.
Okay.
We could put him on. We could put him on shift with Shepherd for a couple of days. That's very keep further on the edge of town where people aren't really if people are looking for the rest of the free souls somewhere else. They may not be looking for my haven. I mean, how many of them actually know I'm fucking sleeping in the trailer?
Mhm.
No, I get you. Where should we park this then for the day?
Shepherd around?
Yeah. Once you get back to the trailer, you can see that he's there with one of the other guys.
Okay. So I mean, after the incident the other day, I mean, we should probably move it like either during the day while we're sleeping, or at the beginning of at the very beginning of the evening, set up where it's going to be for the next day, so we have no more slip ups.
Okay.
That shit hurt last time.
Yeah, he's gonna try to make sure that that doesn't happen again.
Make it clear, I'm not mad at him about it. Just shit happens.
Yeah, yeah, he understands. Um, but yeah, so he tells you. I mean, once I don't know how it works, but I mean, once sun goes down, can't I just drive to Salemtowne? And when you by the time you're awake, we should be there. So
Yeah, no, we can do that. Just find somewhere out of the way to park in the first place. If we
yeah,
can, if we can find August, I'd like to keep him nearby for now.
put the word
Have
out.
you ever parked in Salem Town before during all this? Because I don't, like you said, if my
It's
memory serves me correct. I mean, this is still new to me. The
Yeah,
fact that you burst in flames if you're in the same
yeah.
spot twice.
He,
the, the
he
same
looks at
spot.
you.
It's a radius, but
Yeah, he looks at you. He's like, I haven't been to Salemtown in maybe a month, so that could be we could just kill two birds with one stone and just be there already.
that'll keep me
Yeah,
from
that
burning up.
works.
All right, I'll do that, and I'll make sure that August is it meets us over there.
Ooh,
Fantastic. That'll set us up for the next day. And on top of that, that's sort of infiltration because it'll get us in during the cover of daytime.
Hmm. Yeah. All right. And so he has his orders. He does get the word out to try to get August to meet up with you, and just about 5 in the morning, you hear the familiar sound of a motorcycle kind of revving up and coming up to the trailer, and you see August there.
Mhm. August, my boy, we have ourselves a little bit of a problem.
Oh, you heard about? Wait, what do you mean we got a problem?
wait, what do you mean we have a problem?
I'll go first.
All right.
Uh, the this problem's a little specific to you, August, but the people we all belong to,
Hmm.
they know you exist, and that's not necessarily a good thing because we witnessed several of them unclaimed by their sires get executed tonight. Like vampires like you that just that they don't know who made them, they don't know what happened to them, so they're seen as a liability, and we know that they know you exist.
Oh,
So we're gonna have to keep you hidden for a while.
all right. I
On the
understand.
upside, this means you get to hang out with me.
All right.
Now, starting things. Rule number one: this is our haven where we're sleeping during the days. So you're crashing with. I mean, how much room is in there at this point? I'm going to be sleeping basically hung off of my motorcycle, aren't I?
The the false space that you have in the front of the trailer is enough for like I would imagine a bunk bed to fit. So you and
Sure.
Erickson are fine. Um,
This is like Bender's. So I can just stand there like it's Bender's closet in Futurama.
yeah, yeah, you really have to. Uh, he would have no problem just lying up in the front where like the two motorcycles uh, are locked into place.
All right, no, that's fine. As long as he's shaded from the sun, we're good. It's just he
Yeah,
just has to realize we're sort of on the lam. We're on the lam during the day, so
yeah.
Okay, but
and he,
we gotta get back to what he wanted to tell us.
yeah. So what other problems do we have that I don't know about?
I don't know if it's a problem per se. Uh,
It's still information, and I need it, August. What's going on?
all right. Well, I had an altercation with one of our kind. Uh, Nothing major. I handle myself as best as possible.
Are they alive? Could they identify you?
No,
What
no,
did
they
they look like?
well. by the time I was done with it, they were a small pile of ash. Uh,
This is concerning.
I
Small pile of ash. And how did you accomplish that?
I there I had used a lot of my blood in our encounter, and that little voice in the back of my head just suggested things that I had never done before, and before I knew it, I was draining this man's life force into my own gullet, and I just couldn't stop.
Oh,
When I came to, I had a new ability, and this man was dead and just kind of rapidly decaying before my eyes. Uh,
What can you do? What happened?
I I can hear much better. I can smell things like a mile away. I can see much clearer. Um, it, it's a little overwhelming. It was a little overwhelming. But I spent the last couple of days kind of like controlling it. Uh,
Okay.
um,
So what did this vampire that you fought? What did they look like?
oh, they're thin, kind of ugly looking. Um, kind of had the facial features of a rat. Um, he did grow claws at one point. I think that's what did the most kind of real damage to me. But at the end of it, can't really do much against 12 gauge to the chest, point blank range.
Oh no, you cannot.
no.
Okay.
Did you
Okay,
by
from
any
his
chance catch a
description.
name?
No, no, we our discussion never turned to names.
How did the confrontation even start? Did he seemed like he had been following you for some time? Was this just a chance encounter? Just ran into each other and he felt it was his territory or something?
He tried to feed off of the young lady that I have been talking to, and truth be told, I wanted to get your opinion on whether or not um, she could be turned into one of us.
Okay, you need to pump the brakes on that immediately.
All right.
That's that is not something that's supposed to happen very often. We have enough trouble dealing with your existence right now. No offense.
I
This is just
understand.
this is a question of idiotic local politics that frankly we normally don't ascribe ourselves to. But for the sake of safety and keeping things alive, the last thing you want to do is be turning any human beings right now
All right.
for any reason.
Sure. Sure.
And especially if it's a lady you're crushing on, that's actually we'll get into that more deeper discussion later, but it's usually not a good idea.
All right. I understand.
You haven't. She hasn't. You haven't fed her your blood yet or anything like that, have you?
Yes.
You didn't drain her first, did you?
No. 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 I just we saw some things on the internet. We saw some things in some books about how
Well,
vampires.
yeah,
Yeah.
very quick. You
Yeah.
had to change
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Saw some things on the internet. Wait,
You
no,
know,
books, books.
when you have so many storylines that you're running, you gotta keep them together. Uh, but we read some things in
We're
books
looking at some
about
Uncool World book encyclopedia.
yeah. And she's a big fan of Bram Stoker's, so we thought in the book Dracula gives Renfield blood and he starts to exhibit powers. So we were just like, I wonder how much truth is based on this.
Uh, that's one of the things that Bram got right, more or less, except she's not going to start wanting eating bugs or anything like that. But
That's good.
you've made, yeah, at the very least, you made her a little harder to kill, but you're also painting a bit of a target on her. If
Yeah.
Oh,
anyone tastes the blood, they're going to know she's been affected by one of our kind.
I didn't know that.
These
Mhm.
things you got to learn as you go along, which is partially why keeping you around is starting to look like a better and better idea.
All right, I understand.
Yeah, you kind of
Did I stop?
been doing this on your own.
Yeah,
Kind of need to reel you in a little bit, and this is coming from me. So
yeah, yeah. I learned some things.
To be fair, I've been busy, so
Garlic doesn't affect me, so I'm excited about that. But I can't eat pizza, so
correct.
not much fun
garlic
being.
doesn't the lucky side is garlic doesn't affect most of us, but yeah, food can be a problem. Maybe later you can learn to choke some food down just for appearances, but you're never going to enjoy it.
I miss pizza.
Just to have somebody pig out on the whole fucking pie and then feed on them.
I might have
They
to
could
do
use
that.
the loss in blood pressure.
I might have to do that then. Should I stop feeding her my blood then?
Uh,
I'll
it,
tell you right now, the withdrawals of that is going to be a little bit touchy, just
yeah,
from
it's
personal experience.
don't do it all the time, but stagger it at a regular basis. She'll be all right.
Okay.
I do want to go back though. That confrontation you had, where did this happen?
Out by the riverside. We were kind of, in the husk of what was the last call, and I was telling her about the exploits that all of you had taken part in, and how there's hunters in the city, and how we need to be careful. And this rat-looking dude just came out of nowhere and just was telling us that that's his territory and whatnot. And I was like, I'm pretty sure this belongs to a friend of mine and his associate.
Oh no. Um, s- Real quick,
Hmm.
were there any cats with this person?
No, no, there weren't any cats.
Oh, wait, I just for a moment I go. I know that was a stupid question, but I needed
Well,
to ask.
I mean, he did say rat-like in appearance, Erickson. So, I
No.
mean, by the riverfront, this could, I mean, Nosferatu most likely, but it could have been a Gangle. I mean, you're in the city. They have a Primogen. Like, what's his name? Tommy Shepard, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, is it from Elysium the other night? Do I remember anybody vaguely rat faced? Can I recall anything before I got disgusted at the KT executions?
Let's have you do a wits and awareness.
Oh,
Yeah.
first roll of the night.
First roll of the
Yep.
night.
See, 6 dice, and I'm at hunger 2.
All right. See if anybody
All
pops
right.
up.
Hunger dice are 7 and 1,
Yep.
unfortunately. And then the other dice, 2 8s, a 3, and a 1.
Okay. So thinking back to before the whole display of power that Hyde did, there is the memory of a couple of what looked to have been disheveled hobos that had animalistic features. Like one had the very pronounced kind of cleft lip of a cat, upper lip of a cat with like the whiskers.
Yeah.
Um, the you might have seen a tail, but you're not sure if that was your imagination or just the whole situation. And then the other one did have like these very long, spindly fingers, almost like rat-like appendages. The very kind of pronounced nose and the overbite of a rat.
So obviously, I couldn't just sit there. I would just be describing the same thing right back to him. So there'd be no
Yeah,
way to confirm it. But in
yeah.
my mind, I have a feeling I know who it was or know of who it was.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we have gotten. That's not enough successes to get a name or anything like that.
It's not.
The
It's
thing is,
not.
I didn't socialize.
Yeah, it's not
Like,
someone that has socialized with you.
Mm.
Because even without the rat-like features, like the face alone wasn't one that you remember ever being in contact with or even rubbing elbows with at any point in your time.
Well, would we have at least noticed? At least I would have noticed if somebody with that description would have stayed during the meeting and enjoyed the quote unquote festivities that were going on.
Oh, yeah, let's see your wits and awareness roll.
so
Yeah, hunger only one.
you hung around 007.
Mm-hmm. You did.
All right, 10, 4 on the hunger die. And
Mm-hmm.
I have a 10, 7, 6, 1, and 1.
Okay. You remember once the feeding happened to the destruction. Now that you have this description of them, you remember that both of them were arguing about the situation. There was an argument. Very clearly, one person was on one side, one person on the other, and the female of the two of them left, while the male, the rat-like creature, the rat-like features, um, stayed behind to kind of partake of the celebration.
Did it seem more like squabbling siblings that were arguing with one another, or was this more of a passionate thing?
With 3 successes, it looks more like the latter. Like it was definitely something that at some point either they have come to blood bond each other, or their relationship transcends the embrace.
All right, that's not a good thing. I don't know my memory out of character. I don't know how blood bond works, especially when one person that's out of the two happens to perish.
Mhm.
Does that affect the other?
It does. The blood bond ends immediately.
They would feel that, right?
You you would know immediately that you no longer have the same thoughts and desire to please the other person.
Whether this would make them very pissed off and vengeful, or perhaps happy with the prospect,
Mm.
especially considering they were she stormed off from him for the festivities.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but
So
this is something I would like to bring up. So, yeah, I look over at Eric. I go, I know that I've seen someone like that stayed in Elysium before I left.
it's all the more reason that we're gonna have to keep August out of sight now. And
Yeah,
August, you're gonna have to stop talking to the mortal about these things.
yeah.
At least not in detail. This is as much for her safety as for yours. Like, our kind can pull information from her one way or the other, screaming, or just through little stupid mind control because oops, she made eye contact too long. So
Mm.
you're really gonna have to let up on the details.
All right.
Just give her the blood once in a while. We'll figure it out. We'll arrange it.
Yeah, let's wait till this blows over a little bit
Yeah.
first before we start, slinging your liquids around, sir.
Oh, yeah. All right. All right. I brought it up. I figured, you know,
It's
better.
good that you asked. You got to ask about these things more often.
No, it's good that you brought it up. I
Yeah.
appreciate that because the last thing I want to know is we all of a sudden have another problem on our hands.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
Mm. I do have good news for you, Augie.
Mm.
She's never going to be pregnant, though.
Yeah, that's one of the things that we have talked about is the fact that she's not real keen on having a screaming baby run around. So
Well, that's good because your corpse is only firing blanks now, Johnny.
all right.
All right. And with that, so do we want to just pursue it into the next day then?
Sure. Next evening, you wake up around 9. You are in Salemtowne already. Not August, sorry. Shepard has parked about a few blocks on the north end of town, uh, close to the border. There's a hotel there, like a little motel. Um, so they're taking advantage of just being outside the main part of the city, taking a shower, things like that. Becoming more human. But when you come to, you can already see that there's uh, little pamphlets for like the Red Eye Lounge and other little places around Salemtowne in the office.
What, talking to me?
Um, Both of you have the night open. It's 9 o'clock.
Oh,
It's November 2nd. How do you want to proceed?
well, you did want to see Otis, didn't you?
Oh, yeah. Uh, like I, any time is a good time at this point.
Yeah. Let's at least start the arrangements early on in the evening.
As so we parked where we parked by the. Are we going to park directly in front of the Red Eye Lounge? No,
We're
right?
No. We can't. You never want to have it.
Correct.
Yeah. You don't want to see. I don't want to see have other canines see us exiting the trailer in the first place. That
Yeah.
paints the immediate target. But no, we just have to be in that part of town.
Oh, remember, you also have one of the free souls that's driving around your extra car, like Erickson's car.
That's true. Well, that's what we'll be riding around in afterwards.
Yeah.
Which I kind of want that car to be driving a little more, just in case they're tailing it.
Mhm.
So wherever we are, my car should not be anywhere close by
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
for that reason. So
The
that
rule of 4 left turns and shit.
Yeah.
I rather them deal with chasing, following a free soul
Mhm.
that we're in a car that we're not in.
Mhm.
Well, but whoever the free soul is that's driving the trailer, we should also let them know that they have to be on lookout for anything that is suspicious or anyone that's tailing them that
Yeah.
seems to be tailing them.
Yeah.
The
Shepard knows.
trailer's usually Shepard. He's my ghoul, so
Yeah.
he's
Yeah, he knows.
he's up on all things avoiding shit so that Andreas and everyone gets to live.
So, and we should just keep August inside the trailer then.
Well, August. I mean, Shepard can keep an eye on August as long as he's not prone. If he's is he prone to wandering off or anything like that, we'll stick a stake in him later if I have. But that was what I was joking about. Yeah. It was a joke. It was a joke.
No, I mean that's fine. I
Mhm.
mean he's a free soul. I have no dog in this race.
And by that very rule is the reason I would never stake him. Not in 1,000 years. But I could have a dark sense of humor about it.
Yeah.
How does the Red Eye Lounge look, by the way, when we finally walk by there?
When you pull up to the Red Eye Lounge, it's still early. There's only a few cars out there. There is the big bouncer, the big heavyset bouncer that's at the door. Chuck. You've seen Chuck by there before.
Oh, he remembers me.
Mm-hmm. Oh, he remembers both of you.
Chuck, T-Bone, and Porterhouse.
Mm-hmm. But he sees the two of you coming in, walking up to him, and he's just like, "Oh, gentlemen, good to see you again."
Put my hand out to shake his hand.
He does.
Yeah. Good to see you. I know it's early. I know the night is still young, but looking to see if we can meet an old friend of ours. You know if Otis is around?
Oh, Otis is not around. Mr. Coulson is. Mr. Garza is. You're a little early, but we will be starting the wet t-shirt contest in about an hour.
Excuse me,
I
what?
think, yeah. Well, as entertaining as that sounds, I think it's best that we just hang out with Garza and Coulson there. Where are they? Are they in the office?
They're in the office, yeah. Come on in, and he opens the door for you. And
Okay.
inside, you can see that there's maybe half a dozen people. You can see that the stage has been picked up and pushed back. There's a big octagonal ring with a mechanical bull in the center. They're putting it through the paces. You can see it kind of going up and down, side to side, spinning. There's what looks to be the same material as kiddie pools are made of on the floor underneath it. And you can see that there's already like a little layer, like a thin layer of water, because you can see the kind of splashing as people are stepping around next to the bull, kind of inspecting it, making sure that the saddle's on and it's not flying off, and that things are just preparing for the event. And you can see that there is now.
It's art, but I like it.
Yeah. Now, right to the left of the entrance, you can see that the board has been cleaned off from all the old specials and like the little phrases that they used to have on there, and now it just has a schedule. It's a set schedule. Mondays is, something, Tuesdays is something, Wednesdays are something, but Fridays, it just in big letters takes up the entirety of the bottom of the board. It just says wet t-shirt contest, $100 prize. And then Saturday and Sunday, it has just kind of together at the bottom for like a thin line, and just says special events. inquire within.
So I take it the wet t-shirt contest is worth sticking around for. This could be. This isn't going to be like the first scene in Blade, is it?
No,
Okay,
no.
I had to ask. Just
Yeah, we don't know for sure.
also, Blade hasn't happened yet, so my character has no frame of reference.
Yeah, no.
All I know is that you didn't seem too excited about wet t-shirt contest, and now I'm wondering what skeletons you had in your closet, Senator.
The rave parties won't start for another 5 years.
Yeah,
Yeah, you're right.
state senator. Anyway, as
Yeah.
we were walking to the, as we walk to the back,
Yep. You see you walk across the bar. One of the bartenders kind of gives you a wave, sees that you're beelining towards the office, kind of nods knowingly, and right as you're about to knock, the door opens and you see the familiar face of Manny Garza in front of you, holding a little Ziploc bag with what looks to be just big chunks of what must be raw steak of some kind. And behind him, you can see at the desk that John Coulson's kind of sitting there working on something. And Manny just looks at the two of you. Hey, it's my two favorite guys.
I don't even have to roll to know how much he's lying.
Yeah.
So before that, I just wanted to know, as we're walking in, if there was any indication of, like, how can I put it? Because I want to know if this is something that, if the door was open because of something that the bartender did, or if this was something that was naturally done because they've been watching us since the moment we walked in.
Oh, give me a wits and awareness roll.
Okay.
Yeah, let's see what you pick up.
Me too, or just him?
Yeah, you can do it if you want to, if you're going to pay attention. You could also try a wits and insight.
I'll go with that route.
Okay.
Yeah, I got a 1 on the hunger,
Ooh.
2 9s, 2 7s, and a 2.
Okay.
If I have any insight, yes, I do have a little bit. Just for knowledge of human behavior.
Yeah.
You lying motherfuckers. Okay, 8 and 2 on the hunger die, and 9, 1, and 5 on the regular.
Okay. You didn't see any strange gestures or body language from the bartender or anybody else as you walked in. Erickson, though, did notice that towards the back where the DJ's booth is, you could see Dmitry Korchagin watching you as you walked in and pretty much talking into what looked to be his collar the whole time. So you're definitely sure that they've been watching you.
Well, that's good. That just means they're watching the place in general. So they really meant us to see the Ziploc full of Campbell's chunky human, or whatever's in there.
Yeah.
Manny, such a pleasure.
Senator, come in, sit down.
State Center. And what is it that you're eating tonight?
It's a little bit of kidney and a little lung. You know, the usual. You want some? And you see him fork one of the pieces.
Put my hand out. I'm okay.
Puts it in his mouth. More for me, guys.
Coulson, good to see you.
He closes the ledger that he's working in, and he puts his hands, just crosses his hands in front of him on the desk. Gentlemen, what can I do for the both of you?
Well, it's actually funny enough. I was trying to get in touch with Otis because I hear that he doesn't leave Salemtowne, but it's just not here. Just wanting to see if he's around because I got some, it was just interesting information during Elysium that happened yesterday.
Miss Barrister did pass along the message that you would like to speak to him. Anything you can say to Otis, you can say to us. We are his trusted coterie members, and we'll make sure that he knows whatever we know.
Wow, I mean, If it wasn't for the fact that I'm an asshole, I would have been offended at the fact that he didn't want to see me in person.
Oh, it's not just you, Mr. Wood. Heavy is the head that wears the crown, you understand. And since he has recently declared himself the king, name be truthful, of Salemtowne, it paints a target.
I see. And you're thinking that that target is reaching all the way from the ivory tower?
Oh, we're sure of it. There's only one reason someone of Hyde's stature would want to show such an immense flex of his power.
Hmm.
It's to send a message.
I keep forgetting that that Otis was literally a splinter away from death. I totally forgot about all that. I was too busy ripping arms off and handing them over to Manny.
Mm-hmm. And you see Manny just kind of wink at you from the corner, saying, "Still appreciate it, Babo."
Uh, so I just wanted to, you know, I don't think that myself and I look over at Eric or you know that that any of us have given or caused any ill will towards you guys. In fact, I thought that we've been pleasant up until now.
Oh, very, of course. But we also don't know who might be wanting to make a power play out of turning Otis in or taking him off the board, per se.
You know, you know my sire, Liz, right?
I've met her.
Yeah, and you also know that she personally has told Otis that she is willing to follow what he is doing because what she believes is actually what's best for our kind.
Hmm.
Unless that's something that Otis hasn't relayed to you in his coterie.
Oh, no, there have been several phone calls that I've had to take and field after the events of last night. Um, and although Liz did join us early on, um, I feel that personally, I don't speak for Manny or Otis. Um, Personally, I like to vet everyone that tries to come into the court, as it were. Um, we've survived this long together. It behooves us to continue the track record that seems to have gotten us this far. And Manny just kind of gives you a finger gun.
I'm holding back my disgust for Manny for a moment. Mm-hmm. I
Now,
look over.
clearly, a lot of this happened before I showed up. Is there? Can I get a little insight on what's been going on here? Will, just trying to. 'Cause I'm feeling the animosity come off my Brewhawk compatriot here.
Yeah, there is. Remember, this all harkens back to the fact that he knows that Erickson knows deep down inside that Manny diablerized Elizabeth Guernsey.
Yeah,
And he's
That's
still
right.
he's still mad
And
that
you're still shown.
he didn't
I'm
get to
just
be the one to do
upset
it.
that he was able to do it before I did.
Yeah.
That's really what it boils down to.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, good that she's gone. Now it's just a vacuum because now we have another asshole that just is now around that we got to deal with.
Mhm.
Um, Interestingly enough, I want to find out who. Well, whatever. We'll get into who got diablerized by August. But anyway, I look back at Manny, like almost like Robert De Niro.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. This guy.
Look, vetted. That is a very very interesting word that you use because that I've heard around in circles in my mortal time. I pull up the chair and I fix my shirt
Hmm.
and I sit down. I'm gonna go. So, what is it that we haven't done to earn your trust?
Oh, I mean, if I'm speaking frank,
Oh, I
um,
mean, you can speak Frank. I'll speak Shirley. It's fine.
yeah, it's It just seems to me personally that you only come around when you need something, and your services haven't been offered around here in some time.
Hmm. I mean, you know, I can also understand that it can't just be a one-way train either. This is a connector, you
Hmm.
know. If you needed help with anything, I'm surprised that, you know, you guys had so much fun taking out some of these people that have been around that's been causing this nuisance in Salem. Haven't invited me to join the fun. Or us to be for that matter. I mean, I'm a little sad that I have to come to you in order to have some kind of conversation, Coulson.
Everyone knows that the Red Eye Lounge is neutral territory. You are more than free to come and go as you please.
Yes, but unlike your beloved Otis, which I love, by the way. I haven't had any problems. Other than that off handshake.
Hmm?
But unlike Otis, I know that you don't have a problem leaving neutral ground.
I don't.
So
I'm also not
again,
a declared prince of the city.
hmm, again, I ask, what does it take to get an audience with not even Otis, but with his coterie? I mean, I've seen Manny more than I've seen you on it, to be quite honest. And I finger gun Manny.
Yeah, he winks at you. It's true, Babo. I miss you.
Mm,
But he looks at you like, understandable. I think if you are sincere about your wanting to help out, then you'll be seeing more of me.
I look at Eric. I go, when am I not sincere?
No, even no, even when you're ripping the throats out, no, you're pretty damn sincere.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I mean,
Right through that entire SWAT team last week.
yeah. I mean, you must have heard about that happening up. Was it? I'm trying to remember the north end, or was that? I'm trying to remember what area that was in.
Yeah.
Hold up, where was that at?
He opens the book and you see him turn to a page and he's like, yes. Yes, I did hear about this situation. This is
Yeah.
where you had to go and rescue your informant.
Stop. I go, yeah. Uh, I don't remember ever telling you that, Colson.
Oh. You see, we are in the business of being well informed out here.
Mm. I guess I guess it's easy to I mean, mortals do this all the time, right? And I
Hmm.
look over at Eric. I go, I mean, I wasn't ever privy to those lost tapes, like like Watergate or anything like that. But I imagine bugging somebody's phone is not too hard these days, right?
Cool. Um, for
Yeah, me,
mundane,
I don't even own a phone.
yeah, for mundane purposes, sure. Um,
Yeah.
has he resurfaced, by the way? I don't have it in my notes that he has come back as of late.
Oh, to be quite honest, considering how much information you have about my whereabouts, I'm surprised. I was about to ask you, so
Hmm.
you caught me at a disadvantage here, Colson. I didn't realize that for as much as you worry about whether or not you can trust me, you know awfully a lot about what I'm doing.
Yep. And you see that he makes a note in the ledger, and then he closes it again.
Am I able to see anything from the ledger from the point of view I'm at?
Make a wits and awareness roll.
Cause this son of a bitch, bro. All right, 10 on the hunger, 9, 7, and 3 ones. I want to use
Ooh.
willpower
Okay,
and re-roll those 3.
sure.
2 nines and a 1. So
Okay,
5.
yeah. Uh, you see that on the latest page, He's maybe about halfway down the left side of the book. He has written a note. The note that he's writing right now is that Mickey Blue Eyes has not resurfaced yet. The notes above it are just based around different things. Elizabeth Barrister having called in about your meeting. He has a note about Marcus Bradley being somebody to reach out to. He has a note about something that's labeled "the Russian needs to be taken care of," and then in quotations or in parentheses, Camila question mark. And then he has a couple of notes about different vampire names you don't recognize that want to have an audience with Otis, and like timestamps of when he took the phone call.
Oh, can you give me one of those names if I was able to catch it?
Sure. Let's go with
Random name generator.
no. I have a name. I have a list
Oh,
of
okay.
names.
Just check my yellow pages.
I'd say I'll say it's Leslie Thatcher.
I like that name, Leslie Thatcher.
Mother of William Thatcher.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Stone's throw away from England.
He's a knight.
There you go. Anyway, yeah, man, and I can see, like, based off of the ledger, how deep has he gone into this book?
He is maybe about 3/5 into the book.
Okay, so I have a feeling that I have a feeling he has more than one. Okay.
Easily.
Yeah,
He's a Tremere.
that's what I'm saying. Like, yeah. You know, if I didn't know any better, I think you would be acting more of a Nosferatu of all the information that you have. And who's you know, I mean, Otis must be busy. Leslie Thatcher?
Couple people have reached out, like I said. We are also trying to figure out who this new face in town is. And you see him flip the page, and you notice that when he does, he curves it in such a way so you can't
Can't
see
see it. Yeah,
what he's
because he
writing.
already knows I'm staring at it.
Yep. But he looks down and then he closes the book. We want to know who Konstantin Ivanovich is. Do you have any information?
Constantly, I want a bitch.
I mean, if the fact that you don't have it in your book, that's probably not good news because I don't have that much information. I only recognize that name from yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
I look over at Eric.
I can't read. I'm deadpanning. I'm like as
Yeah.
facetious as possible, but just deadpanning this.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it has come to our understanding that there's a new Primogen named Konstantin Ivanovich, and we'd like to know just who he is, what he does, why now of all times Hyde has chosen to represent the clans that don't have a Primogen in his city.
Konstantin Ivanovich, doesn't that sound Russian? I mean, the Iron Curtain's still up and everything. So,
Mm.
I mean, that sounds very Russian.
oh,
Well, so you have no information on Constantine other than the name?
Not as of yet, but of course he was only introduced yesterday. So
Mm-hmm.
what I have is what is become the most prevalent pieces of information.
Well, how about this?
Hmm.
Uh, the next time you have any information on his whereabouts and you're just wanting to know more about Constantine, why don't you just let us know? Maybe we can help and provide our services, of course.
Oh, and how would one get in contact with you?
I mean, considering all the information you know that
I
you have
only
on
I
me,
only ask because from the last bit of information that I know, you have no contact, and you have no bar, so it kind of becomes difficult to track
Oh,
you.
can I check to see, because considering the fact that he knows where I've been going,
Hmm.
he would know where. Like, for instance, I believe the last place I went to that has Sam is the Albatross.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm surprised. I want to know if he's holding back that information.
Okay, that's gonna be a wits and insight.
Let's see here. Wits and insight. Well, it's still 6.
Yeah, you actually got a good dice pool for that.
Well, yeah. I mean, let's see here. All right, 2 on the hunger, 8, 2 sixes, a 7, and a 3.
Okay, 4
So
successes.
4.
It looks like he's definitely trying to gauge what information you want to give up freely.
Mm-hmm. So I say it again. I mean, I already know that you know that I've been going to the Albatross.
Hmm.
So of course you can reach me there.
All right. I'll gladly have Mr. Bradley pass on any information then to you.
And of course, send my regards to Otis
Of course.
and let him know that maybe the next time we come around, we can have an audience with him.
Hmm. If that's all, Mr. Wood, I would ask you to send my warmest regards and my wish for a speedy recovery to Sam over at the Albatross.
Of course.
Uh,
And I grip the arms of the chair that I was in,
Mm-hmm.
so it leaves the indentation of my hands as I'm standing up.
Okay.
Uh,
Manny just porks. You see him dart the spork into the bag and just put it in his mouth.
hmm. Manny.
He nods to the both of you. Good to see you, boys. Don't be strangers.
Mhm.
Gentlemen, Manny.
But he goes over, he opens the door and lets you out.
Yeah, so as we're cruising out, I'm like, you want to strangle all of them.
Honestly, what is that phrase?
Yes, that's the
What's
phrase.
yeah?
That,
What's that phrase? It's keep your friends close and your enemies closer.
well, yeah, that's biting distance.
Hmm. As we walk out, I want to look over to the corner of where uh the gentleman that's talking into the collar was at.
Yeah, Dimitri.
Yep, Dimitri.
Yep. He's still there.
Yeah, I want to walk up to him.
Okay. You see him come down from the DJ booth. Gentlemen, what can I do for you?
I extend my hand.
You see that there's a moment of hesitation, and as he extends his hand, you notice that it's really hairy, but it's massive. This meaty mound of flesh that just kind of wraps your hand in his. Good to meet
Mhm.
you.
Yeah. Good to meet you, Dimitri. You know, you spoil the surprise sometimes when you just let people know that you're coming in and out.
Okay, I understand.
Yeah. I mean, you can always wave at me first, buy me a drink. I won't drink it, but at least, we don't you don't have to act like something's going to happen every time you see me. And I
Sure.
laugh in his
Yes.
face. I laugh in his face.
Yeah, I understand.
Yep. I let go of his hand. Uh I want to walk, and as I walk back out, I want to know if there's just more than just one person doing the same thing that Dimitri's doing.
Not really.
Okay. All right.
As
So
you
that's good
as
to
you
know.
walk out, you can see that the first few ladies are walking out of the. There's like three ladies that are walking out of the back hallway that leads to the bathroom that all have changed into the Red Eye Lounge, like skimpy white T-shirt. Some of them have just been cut in the neck to create a V-neck. But yeah, they're making their way over to where the bull is.
I mean, I stop and I look over at Eric. I mean, at Andreas and see what he's doing.
Deciding which girl to put money on that's going to fall off that bull first.
Would you like to stay, sir?
What's the feeding? What are the feeding rules over at the Red Eye?
No feeding allowed. It is
Feeding
neutral
allowed?
territory, so.
Yeah.
Oh, we're getting the hell out of here then. I'm not going to stand in front of a buffet that I can't eat.
Okay. Where do you guys want to go?
Who's the other stop we had to make in Salemtowne? Wasn't just Otis we were looking for.
Well, in Salemtowne?
Yeah, the area we're currently in. Wasn't there someone else?
Yeah. That's the only thing that I remember. Let me see. Dang it. Should have asked him about what he knew about the plague doctor.
Yeah, that's one of your goals here.
Exactly. So, you know what? I turn around and I rush right back into the room.
Okay.
I don't even give this guy time
Another
to
thing.
even announce it. I don't even give this guy time to announce it. If whatever discipline I have or feat that I have that allows me to just let
How
me
about
see.
celerity? I don't think you have
Celerity.
that fast movement.
Yeah, I have a little bit of that, but I mean, I'm just gonna I'm gonna catch Manny upending like the fucking Ziploc bag into his mouth.
Yeah, I'm at celerity 2, which I don't believe gives me that.
Yeah, I think you
I mean,
chose fleet as your second level power.
yeah. Well, I think I only saw one second level, so yeah.
Yeah, but remember, you can always choose. Whenever you get a new die, you can always choose whatever power is available at that level and whatever power you haven't chosen. So.
Okay. All right. Well, doesn't matter. I'm gonna walk back.
Okay. You see that as you walk in and you rush over to the office, again the door still opens right before you knock.
Of course it does.
And Manny just kind of looks at you, spork in his mouth.
Step back and let it close. Step forward, let it open.
He just has a
Hey,
spork
Manny,
in his
nice
mouth.
work. Yep.
Yeah, you forget something?
Yeah. I actually forgot. Funny enough, as I'm walking out and I see I see a lot of flesh going out there, and I realized the antithesis of that. There's this Malkavian that's walking around with a plague doctor's mask on. I imagine you have some information on that.
Oh, yeah, the cookie guy. Yeah. I seen him once or twice. Been trying to figure out where he's coming from, but guy's like a cockroach, man. 1 second he's there, the next second he's gone. So
So you're telling me, and then I look over past Manny. I go, so you're telling me, Coulson, you have no leads on where this guy could be?
he looks up from his desk. None. I've trusted Manny to find out anything and everything that he can.
And you have no leads at all, Manny? You're telling me that I guess you're just gonna finish that bag until something else falls on your lap?
He's like, no. I got some leads. You know, but you know what? Honestly, there's a Nosferatu apparently that's out on the east end of the city. That's on the east end of West Salem. he's been causing some trouble recently, and people tell me that he goes by the name Teddy. So if you can bring me information about that guy,
Well, what information do you need from this Teddy guy?
I just need to know why he's fucking causing problems, man. You know, he's out
Wait, he's
there.
causing. What problems is he causing?
Yeah. He's feeding and then just discarding bodies, so it's bringing attention to people on this side of the bridge. You know, so it's creating problems.
How do you know it's not him and not somebody like? And then I point to myself like me, and I start laughing.
He's like, oh, we know it's not you. You have an MO. You like to bend people in half and toss them into different alleys.
Oh man, they know so much about me.
I mean, to be fair, we were setting a distance. You pretty much set a distance record with that one.
Yeah, that's true. And how long has this been happening, Manny?
Better part of 2 weeks now. Been 4 dead bodies so far. It's just we started to notice this kind of van driving around that has church symbols on it, and it wasn't here before. And now it's kind of it's made itself prevalent.
What kind of symbols?
Religious symbols like crosses and rosaries and the La Virgencita, shit like that, man.
I look over at Andreas. I'm like, yeah, sounds about right.
Oh yeah.
Okay. You know what, Manny? And I pat him on the shoulder. I go, let me see if I can get in touch with this Teddy fellow.
Yeah,
I'll get right back to you.
sounds good, man.
So now I walk back out again.
Yeah.
This time we have a clearer picture of where we can go. So
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Well-
and the name Teddy does ring a bell. We have dealt with that Nosferatu before.
oh no, I know exactly who it is. I wasn't gonna tell them how much I knew about this guy. But,
Yeah, no. Assuming whether I was in the room or not, I wasn't going to say anything.
right, like cats. That's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
So
I even know his favorite, Leopold.
so yeah, I imagine then we should head back over to where the last call was at. Oh, where the establishment is at. I don't know what the hell I'm gonna do with that anymore. But
You should rebuild it and call it the After Hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think that should be our next course of action. Just head towards that area and not park at the last call, but go to the warehouse district area that's close by to it, because that's where I usually run into Teddy.
Yeah. You head
Sounds
over
good.
there.
Don't park over any sewer grates.
Yeah. You head over there and you start just looking for the cats.
I mean, when I head over there, what time of day? Well, what time of night is it now?
By the time that you're done with Coulson and Garza and you head back over the bridge, about 12:30.
Okay. So after 12, I know that the last call was usually starting up at this time.
Mhm.
There's not really anything else that's going on in that area, so it should be relatively dead in the warehouse district unless something's going on at night.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
In which case, we're interested anyway.
yeah. So yeah, I just want to step out. I mean, I'm not wanting to look for the cats necessarily, but they usually show up before before Teddy does.
Yeah.
Leopold.
You start just kind of walking around looking for cats, and after a bit, you see the familiar gray one.
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of sees you. He meows, and you see out of the shadows Tulip and Teddy both kind of walk out.
Interesting. Yeah, so there's a lot of surprises tonight, Andreas.
And Teddy just kind of looks at the two of you. It's my big friend, and he comes over and he just picks up Erickson.
Like he picks me up like yes.
Like an adult picking up a child. Like he just extends his long, spindly hands and just picks you up. Kind of bounces you a couple times and then puts you back down.
Good to see you too, Teddy.
It's good to see you. It's been some time.
Yeah, and I see that you're not alone. I mean, obviously you're with your cats, of course, but
Yeah.
hello there, Tulip.
Teddy is never alone. And she kind of looks at you. She waves. I was just asking him to pass on a message to you.
Oh man, I'm so popular today. What is the message that you're trying to pass, Tulip?
The new Primogen would like to meet the two of you. He has an errand.
The new Primogen?
Mm-hmm.
The Russian. That's what I say to myself. I say it under my breath. The Russian.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm right. Constipation. Because I'm going to keep coming up with weird names for them.
Yeah.
The Red Dawn is.
The Red Dawn. It hasn't come out. U571. I don't know what you want to call them. Yeah. Wolverine. All right. Anyway, but
the Bear Cavalry.
The Bear Cavalry. I must break you.
It'll be better than the Fender group, and that'll be a problem.
Yeah.
Sure. I mean, Tulip, where can we meet this newly crowned Primogen?
He has told me that since you're familiar with the Albatross, that you can meet there, or you could also meet at the Vagabond. Either one is fine with him. He would prefer the Vagabond, but that's just.
Of course, he would prefer the Vagabond.
So,
oh, by the way, Red Dawn actually has come out already, so that you can make
there
the
you go. We can make that reference.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I would put him in a room with two different Primogens.
Right. Oh, you mean wait? At the Vagabond, it would be two different Primogen?
Yeah, the Vagabond is owned by the Tremere Primogen.
That's right.
That's
right. However, since even though even though I don't have full out of character, even though I don't have full confirmation, I know that this asshole Coulson's been bugging our fucking place. So I feel like he's the asshole that's bugging our place, the Albatross. So if he is,
well, if you're going to narc on him about it, that's obviously the place is bugged, so you're going to want to be quiet about that till you can get the bugs out of there.
Well, but either that,
or write it down and show it to her.
No, the thing is, I kind of want him to get.
Oh, you want him to get? Okay.
I kind of want more because he wants more information. So yeah, you know what? Actually, have him meet us. Because I want to make sure that Sam's recovering. I want to be able to check up on her before. I think it's best to have him meet us over at the Albatross.
Okay, sure. I'll pass that along to him.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
You see her rub Teddy's arm. He's like, "It's good to see you again, Teddy. Take care of yourself." And he nods and he's like, "Yes, it's good to see you too, pretty lady. Have a good night."
A pretty lady.
And then she walks off, and after a moment, you can hear a car in the distance drive off.
It's not like our car.
No. But you see Teddy just kind of plop down where he is, and he just starts to pick up all three of his cats and just kind of hold them, let them climb all over him, things like that.
Teddy, you remember Andreas?
Yes, I remember both of you.
Lovely to see you tonight, Teddy.
Good to see you too.
Teddy, I've been, I know that Tula's been looking for me, but I've been hearing that there's been a lot of commotion going on over here in this area of Salem.
Oh no, there is no commotion. There are no train tracks.
Haha, very funny.
You see that he actually does look confused for a moment.
Yeah, I go. I've been on more than one occasion. There's been talk about a lot of, what's the word I'm looking for? That they've been turning up a lot of dead mortals here.
Yes, it's become difficult to feed for Teddy.
Ah, okay. So who do you think has been? You must have been seeing something going on that caused this.
I see the bodies in the river, yes, but I don't know who is doing it.
And how long has this been happening, Teddy?
And some of the locals seem to be under the impression it's you doing it, Teddy.
Yeah.
Oh no, it is not Teddy doing this. No.
Oh, oh, we believe you, but we're just letting you know that's what some of them are starting to think because it's more recognized as you're part of town.
This is
Yeah.
this is not good for Teddy, and you see him stand up and start to kind of pace.
Well, now hear me out, Teddy. This has been going on for quite some time now. Um,
There's been four
so
dead bodies, yeah.
so because of that, I imagine the river, and you think about it. So where have you been finding them in the same spot in the river?
No, no, but they are being tossed carelessly into the water, so it isn't difficult to see them.
Okay. How about this? You know, if you want to help out, because we're going to try to look for this as well. Uh, why don't you go upriver or start checking upriver
Hmm.
to see if you happen, you know, to see anything happening. I imagine they've been using the river to throw these bodies, so naturally, you're going to be seeing it again.
Hmm.
Let me see. You know, and when was the last? Do you remember, Teddy, the last time that a dead body showed up here
It
in the river?
was 2 nights ago.
Hmm. And when was the last time before that?
Maybe from today, like 5 days ago, 5 nights ago.
Okay. You know, I take it that this person, whoever it is,
Hmm.
tends to do this frequently enough that it's almost a pattern.
Hmm.
Does that make sense, Teddy?
Hmm. Teddy
Okay.
understands.
So I imagine at some point, either tonight, maybe, or even tomorrow night, we might run into something. So how about this?
Hmm.
Uh, we'll go ahead. Actually, wait, backtrack a little bit. Tulip said they wanted to meet tonight.
Hmm.
Okay. Why don't we have you? Why don't you go ahead and just stay around this river, going up river, to see as far as you normally stay in your area, in this area,
Hmm.
and see if you come up with anything, Teddy.
Okay.
Okay. And if anything, I'll make sure to come back in this exact spot tonight. Let's just say, what time is it now? It's what, 12:30, 1?
Yeah. Yeah, about 12:45 at this point.
Okay. Hmm. Wondering how long it would take to get over to the Albatross and then come back here,
Probably
depending on
like
what
one.
happens.
Well, it's probably like one something in the morning already. So
Yeah. How about this, Teddy? We'll make this, you scoped out this area,
Hmm.
and we'll come back tomorrow,
Okay.
same time, same area,
Hmm.
and we'll try to, come up, and we'll try to compare notes, find out if what you've seen, maybe you saw something, maybe you've got a description for something, maybe even the cats would be able to find something for you.
Do I have a notebook then? 'Cause I don't have one. And I want to be on the same page if we are comparing notes.
Hey,
And he starts to laugh.
and how does he not turn? He knows how to turn a phrase.
He's like, I made the funny.
Yes, you did. I
I'm not,
the next time I see you, we'll make sure to bring some cat food.
I was gonna say, I was like, we gotta bring the little kids some kibble next
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
He nods. That would be nice.
Do they have a preference, or is Fancy Feast good enough for them?
Oh, wet food is a real treat for them. They would love that.
Yeah,
And then,
easily done.
I'm sorry.
Easily done. I'll send some of the free souls for it during the day.
There you go. Ah, look at that.
Herd has its benefits.
Yeah.
Well, Teddy, we got to see a Primogen, so we'll make sure to see you tomorrow.
Okay, I'm gonna go up the river, and he picks up his cat, and you see him start to make his way towards the edge of uh, the alley. And right as he's about to step out into the main street, you see him just enveloped by shadows, and he becomes invisible.
He is really good at that. Like I vanish and it gets all creepy and squiggly, but that is art right there.
I mean, you'll get there. I imagine you'll get there.
I'm hoping for the Vegas magician effect eventually.
Is this your card?
It's just,
Is this my gun?
all right.
Right.
Well, now we let me see
Onward
if we
to a
want to
meeting
go
with
now.
Tulip.
Should we go straight over there to the Albatross then?
Seeing time it is there. Yeah, we probably should.
Yeah. All right. The Albatross isn't that far from where we're at, though, is it?
It's a 20-minute drive.
Yeah.
So, you get it over to the Albatross. You see Marcus Bradley outside smoking a cigarette, and as you walk up to him, he's just kind of put his drink down, takes a big long puff, blows it up into the air. Oh well, look at this. What do I owe the pleasure, gentlemen?
Marcus, good to see you.
Good to see you.
We're actually coming here to have a nice little chat with the new Primogen that was announced yesterday.
Oh, is he supposed to be here, or is he coming here?
Apparently, he's supposed to meet us here. At least that's what Tulip is telling me.
All right. Well, I'm glad somebody told me about this fucking thing, and he can take a long puff of the cigarette, long drag.
Um, that's. I'm trying to figure out, and I'm trying to figure out whether or not I want to tell him who I think bugged this place. But never mind, I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah, no. Save that.
Yeah, I'll hold that.
As it is, it's strange enough that if the Primogen would be requesting a meeting with us, that somebody who's actually running security on the place wouldn't know about it.
Exactly. That's also very strange.
That's already got my hairs up.
Hmm. Marcus,
Hmm.
I would tell you to keep your wits about you, sir. Uh, just in case, considering you didn't even know something was going to happen tonight.
Okay, that's kind of ominous.
I mean, just cover all your bases.
And he kind of turns to look at Andreas. Are you planning on burning anything down tonight, or is this more of like just a general keep my wits about me?
This is a general keep your wits about you. I'm not feeling very pyrotechnic. This place is too nice.
I was gonna say that I put a lot into this place.
You don't need to worry, but
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Do you want to go downstairs and wait for him there? Or do you want to wait up here with the rest of the peasants?
well, we better head downstairs then.
All right. Takes another long drag, flicks the cigarette onto the street, blows out the smoke, takes all of what smells like whiskey straight down, walks back inside, leaves the cup on the bar, and then takes you to the vault kind of electrics office, the electrics room. Leads you downstairs. You can see that Sam is pretty much back to her normal self, but she's kind of got file folders that are open, that are just kind of laid out on a coffee table. She's sitting on the floor, barefoot, jeans and a t-shirt. And then she looks up at the two of you as you descend. Oh, what are you two doing here?
Sam, glad to see that you are becoming all one piece now again.
It's taken 4 fucking ever, but yeah.
I'm glad. And what is it that you're doing?
Uh, Sheriff's got me on K-Teef duty. Oh,
Mm.
trying to figure out who knows who, trying to find leads, you know. Bullshit.
Real quick, are there any phones in this in the?
There's one, yeah.
I want to.
Excuse me for just a moment. Rips out of the
Excuse
wall.
me. Yes, rip it out the wall, throw it against the. No, I grab the phone.
Yep.
And I act like I'm gonna make a call, but while I'm still talking to her.
Mhm.
So yeah, uh, how many have you found any leads at all? Well, what is it? Obviously, considering what happened yesterday, I imagine what they want to do with the KT.
Yeah. So you can imagine the sheer joy in fucking the sheriff giving me this task specifically.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I haven't found anything.
As I'm talking to her, I want to go ahead and start slowly, uh, as discreetly as possible,
Mm-hmm.
taking off the head of the receiver just to see if I find anything.
Okay.
Great.
Discreetly.
Yeah.
Cheeky, cheeky, cheeky.
Yeah. But yeah, as she's talking to you, she sees what you're doing, and she kind of just raises an eyebrow.
Considering what's been going on, one can't be too careful.
Yeah. Okay. Sure.
So you're gonna tell me I found nothing?
Yeah. Both the head and the mouthpiece are empty inside, except for the actual wiring that needs to be there.
All right. Good to know. And I put the phone back
Okay.
on top of the receiver.
Enjoy watching the paranoia play out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
At this point, I'll remind you that it was the vagabond that was bugged, not the albatross.
no, I understand. That
Okay.
doesn't stop me from
Yeah,
checking.
sure. Yeah.
It does not stop me whatsoever from checking.
You ride that paranoia train as far as it'll take you.
Yeah, man. Vampires.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's across from another game.
Mm-hmm.
So, no, and so I imagine you also don't know that we're actually going to be meeting the new Primogen tonight.
Oh, good. That's just exactly what I wanted. Just more bullshit laid on
Yep.
my bullshit.
Oh, I'm glad I was able to tell you before it happened.
Yeah. I'll excuse myself then, because I don't particularly want to be around any fucking Primogen, let alone a new one.
As we look through the notes, obviously she doesn't have the one of August, but does she have any names that come about that we may have recognized or heard of?
She does have one with August in it. And there's a note that has August in quotation marks with question mark.
Oh, and I look over at that one. I go, oh, so this is and I air quotes, the August file.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The sheriff has actually tasked me to look for this one. Do you mind if I see what you have so far?
Oh, I mean, only thing I have is that Tulip said he might have been called August. There's 3 souls iconography, so I can only imagine that he gave this to you because of your boy there.
Yeah.
It says, I do have this, and you see underneath a stack of pictures of him, she pulls out a picture of him with a woman. This is really interesting. I don't know if this is a ghoul.
Okay, that's gonna get my attention.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But she's like, I don't
I
know
was
if this
waiting
is
for
a
Andrea to be
ghoul.
like, hey,
Yeah. I don't know if this is the ghoul or somebody that he's entrusted with information or just somebody that he was about to feed on, but this is There's another picture with the back of a woman's head that kind of looks similar to this. I can only imagine that this is somebody close to him. So
Hmm.
I'm calling her May.
I got you there.
Yeah, yeah.
So and then I start pointing at a random one. So you should call this one October. Try to throw the scent off as much as
Yeah,
possible.
yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm sure he'd appreciate the effort, but yeah, we're probably gonna have to get him out of town, or just have him like hook him up with a local Zamiti to just really reshape his features.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like he is totally not the same person whatsoever. We gotta.
Well, actually, if we knock down the ivory tower in this town, then it won't really matter anyway, will it?
Yeah. Well, but let's cross that large bridge when we get there.
Yeah,
Are
right?
you kidding? We were in what is normally Otis's office earlier tonight. All I need is a gasoline and matches. You know that.
Yeah.
It's true.
Oh man. Yeah.
Uh,
Well, I want to see what this Primogen has to say.
but yeah,
Yeah.
you see, not August, Marcus come down. And he's like, tighten your assholes, everybody, because here comes a Russian Primogen. And she closes up all the file folders, puts them in like a messenger bag, and she starts to walk upstairs. But as she leaves with Marcus, you see this mountain of a man just kind of like scooching down, bent down, um, trying to fit into this what is clearly not meant for someone this large space. Uh, and he kind of puts his hands together, almost like pyramid. Gentlemen, it's good to see you. You have come highly recommended by the sheriff.
Seventeen. That was the guy's name, right? I've
Konstantin,
been
yeah.
making fun of us all night. Yeah, okay. It's called him constipation, all sorts of shit earlier. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
now,
Let's not start calling them those
no, no,
names right now.
no, no, now this is businessman mode. He already said we already know he wants a favor from us.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I mean, when we heard from Tulip that the new Primogen was seeking our attention, I think we were more than happy to oblige. What is what do what do we owe this great occasion?
The sheriff, being who he is, has decided to give me a full plate of tasks to get accomplished by whatever means necessary and to pick whoever I'd like for these tasks. I'd like the two of you to handle one in particular, and he puts down a picture of what looks to be a very familiar uh, antique shop in the north end of town.
Son of a bitch.
Would this be a certain antique shop that recently had a terrible fire tragedy?
This is one that was recently closed down because of a fire that happened in their basement. Yes,
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean we heard about that.
yes, I assumed that you would have. And he just eyeballs Andreas when he says that.
Well, I mean, of course, this was something that Willow brought to our attention since.
Yes, yes. I have her on a separate task, but this one I feel is more suited for what you have done, given that some of the exploits that she has started spreading are a little bit exaggerated, if you know what I mean.
I'm sorry, I'm just a dumb former state senator. Could you just explain that in layman's terms for me? What you mean?
He sits down on the couch and he's just like, I don't believe that she has the power to have taken out a Tremere by herself.
And is that why you want us to investigate this shop?
That's part of the reason. He takes out another picture in his inner coat pocket, puts it on top of the other one, and you can see what looks to be a similar creature that was trying to come out of um, that Tremere you killed.
Oh, that weird whatever the fuck it was that was crawling out his neck.
Out of
Yeah.
out of Andrew Gibbons.
Mhm.
Right, the one that bit me. Yes.
This has been spotted recently out in the north end of town. I would like this brought in so that we may investigate what it is.
Alive?
Preferably. If this is
I mean,
whatever Gibbons was into is still rippling out from this antique shop, so if we can get a bead on whatever he was up to, we can try to put a stop to it permanently.
Well, sorting things together in my mind.
Yep.
The where did they say they were that this creature had been spotted recently? Is that near where near where we sent Teddy looking for the bodies?
Just about, yeah.
Okay. Yay!
great.
Mental math works.
Now we gotta save Teddy.
Yeah, we're not. Well, we're not going to. No, well, let's not bring this up till we're out of the
No,
premises.
I'm not. I'm not bringing that up to this guy. I'm just gonna be like, oh, okay.
Yeah, it's like we see where he's been. Yeah, if we see where this thing's been spotted lately, and it's just like, oh,
Yeah.
just glad he wasn't looking for a certain like werewolf silver box.
Yeah, he looks over at the two of you. He puts down a picture of what Gibbons looked like. And he's just like, if either one of these two you come across, please bring them in alive so that we may take the proper precautions and necessary actions to dealing with them.
Okay. Does he have a place for us to bring them? Obviously, it's not where he came for this meeting right here.
No. He goes, if you find them, you can bring them. There is a place in eastern Salem over by the what's it called? The just east of the neighbors area of Salem. There is the Hoover School City Park. Across from it is a small motel. It is a safe place that I have taken great liberties and great pains to ensure that it can hold something of this magnitude.
Okay, so you have something that you can hold him down there with. Good.
Okay.
That
Good
looks
to
like we're
know.
going monster hunting again.
Did you say that out loud?
Hmm?
Yeah, it looks like we're gonna go monster hunting.
Yeah.
Excellent. I will leave these here with you, and I look forward to hearing from you when you have some leads.
No,
He
I mean, I would
extends his
hope that the
hands
next
to
time
both
you
of
see
you.
us, yeah, I would say that I hope the next time you see us, it's with this monster in tow.
Yeah, I hope so too. Good luck, gentlemen. I hope that this is the first of many a of a good working relationship that we could have.
Oh, it's a pleasure doing business with you. And then I say that as, I don't want to say it's sarcastic, but
Yeah.
I want to
Is
say
it-
it as much of a senator as possible.
yeah, that's diplomatically.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And he makes his way up the stairs and leaves you in the basement.
Well, I'd say now we have a fair guess of what's been leaving those bodies around Teddy's section of town.
And I see that Teddy's gonna have a lot more trouble the moment he runs into it.
Yep. So the sooner we get this thing smashed and the fuck out of the way, and over to this guy.
Marcus
Now the only
Marcus comes in and sits down halfway down the stairs and he just kind of looks at the two of you. All right, well, how was that, gentlemen? Should I be worried, or are we gonna set some fires, or?
Well, any fires that may or may not be set won't be done here. I'll tell you
Excellent.
that much.
I love the sound of that.
Yeah. It's like Grant just have to like flourish a lighter and then just cigarette.
Yeah.
Mm. Um, I'm gonna go ahead and just use the phone real quick.
Okay.
Marcus, did Sam already leave by chance, or she's still upstairs?
He's out front
Mhm.
taking some air. You want to bring it down?
Nah, I'll go ahead and see her. We'll see you up there in a moment.
All right. He gets up and leaves you alone again.
Do I got to screw or should I stick around?
I don't know whether or not. Nah, let's just go. Let's just go. I just want to get out from here. What time is it now after talking to this guy?
At this point, 2 o'clock.
Oh, we still got time if we want to head over there.
Head where?
To to back to where Teddy would be at.
Oh, yeah. Obviously, we don't have the massive arsenal that was sadly taken from me.
Yeah.
But yeah, once we're back in the car, we'll have to arm up with whatever we do happen to have, just in case.
I mean, I still just gotta reload. I just gotta reload everything that I have on me. I don't have the shotgun. I mean, I would imagine you would take that.
Yeah,
Um,
and I have the little silver bullet revolver, and then obviously
mhm,
that's for special occasions,
Yeah.
and
yeah.
a pistol or two, but that's it.
You guys are
All right.
heading
So,
back.
no,
Yeah,
we
yeah,
arm ourselves, right?
yeah, arm ourselves and
The
head
last
back to
call.
Teddy's section of town. Yeah.
So you guys pull into an alley. You go over your arsenal, reload whatever needs to be reloaded, pack whatever needs to be packed. And as you pull up on the husk of the last call and start to make your way to wherever you sent Teddy, this is where we're going to leave off for tonight. I'd like to thank all of you for tuning in and joining us for another episode of our Salem by Night Chronicle. I hope you are enjoying our Anarch shenanigans. As always, please continue to wear your mask in public. If you feel like you need to, continue to wash your hands. If you're not vaccinated, please consider yourself getting yourself vaccinated. I heard that there is a beta variant of Omicron, so it's going to be really interesting to see how we come out of this winter season and into the summer. So please take care of yourselves, take care of each other. If you are watching live, please know that we take mental health seriously on this channel. It is okay to not be okay. But if you feel like you need to reach out to somebody, there are phone numbers going up live now in our Twitch chat. They'll be in the description box below if you're watching on YouTube. If you're not in the United States, there is also a link going up, which will also become available. Because there are resources out there that you can pull on. There are people that you can talk to. So just know that mental health should not be hidden behind a stigma or locked away behind some taboo subject matter. It's health. It's our general health. It's part of our well-being, and the better you feel, the better you will be. So if you feel like you need to reach out, just know that there are resources out there for you. If you are a friend or family member of somebody that is normally a happy-go-lucky or strong personality, please check in on them. You never know how far a simple hello or how are you text can definitely change the trajectory of somebody's life. So please take care of yourselves, take care of each other. As always, tomorrow there will be no stream on this channel, but you can find me over at McStabber Studios, where we'll be running our fourth episode of our 5 episode run this month of Mage, set in 1988 Miami, Florida. And if not, I will see you on Friday for our Star Wars Out in Dark. And if not, well, we'll see you Saturday for a very special one shot based on the Kids on Bikes system, which is really fun, really great. And we're gonna deal with some haunted houses and see what happens to our intrepid occult research group. And if not, I will see you next Monday, as always, for our Camarilla chapter to see what is going on the other side of the coin. But as always, please take care of yourselves. care of each other, and we will see you when we see you. Have a good night.